I had ChatGPT build a commander deck, and it decided on Zedru the Great-Hearted. It costs 1, a red, a white, and a blue. At the beginning of your upkeep, you gain X life and draw X cards, where X is the number of permanents you own that your opponents control. You can pay a red, white, and a blue, and target opponent gains control of target permanent you control. This is already a pretty fun ability. I personally love this commander. I just hope that ChatGPT didn't ruin it.
When I built this deck, I didn't want to copy the meta. I wanted something weird and fun, so I picked Zedru the Great-Hearted. The whole idea is giving away stuff nobody actually wants, like illusions of grandeur or aggressive mining, and then Zedru rewards you for it. I added some chaos with cards like Perplexing Chimera, a little group hug with Temple Bell, and a couple goofy finishers like Brian Stoutarm with Stuffy Doll or Gisela, Blade of Gold Knight. The point isn't to win fast, it's to make the game memorable, the kind of deck that leaves everyone with a story afterward.
However, ChatGPT did not care about the budget for this one. It spent $446.01 according to Moxfield. So let's get into it. So we're going to start with our creatures here. We got a whole list, so let's get straight into it. We got a Crone Horse, Defender. When it ETBs, an opponent gains control of it. At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent creates a 1/1 white soldier creature token. Auramancer. When Auramancer enters the battlefield, you may return target enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. That's not bad. Bizarre Trader. Tap. Target player gains control of target artifact, creature, or land you control. Okay, ChatGPT's kind of cooking right now. Hold on. We have Clever Impersonator. You may have Clever Impersonator enter the battlefield as a copy of any non-land permanent on the battlefield. Okay, so if you had something evil, you could you could just pass it on to your friend and then pass another one to your friend. I mean, dude, okay, hold on. We have Brian Stoutarm, has lifelink and pay red, tap it, sacrifice another creature. Okay, deals damage equal to the sacrifice creature's power to another target player. That's going to be good here. I like that. That's not a bad pick. We have Custody Soulbinders. When it ETBs, it enters with X 1/1 counters on it, where X is the number of other creatures on the battlefield. So just any, that's cool. Pay 2 and a white, remove a 1/1 counter from Custody Soulbinders, create a 1/1 flight. Create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. That's a good card for 49 cents. Then we got the Lost. When the Lost enters the battlefield, draw a card. If it entered from your library or was cast from your library, draw 2 cards instead. Okay. When becomes the target of a spell, shuffle into its owner's library. I have no clue how to say that. But why is this card in here? Chat, dude, I thought that we were making a banger. Gisela, Blade of Gold Knight. Hold on. I might be wrong. Flying first strike. If a source would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, that source deals double that damage to that player or permanent instead. If a source would deal damage to you or a permanent you control, prevent half that damage rounded up. Why can't I talk today? Anyways, I feel like chat was kind of thinking with this one, hey man, we could use this to our advantage, or we could kind of give it to an opponent and see what happens. That's kind of interesting. I'm not going to lie. Grid Monitor. You can't play creature spells. That's so fucked up. That's so messed up, man. Humble Defector. You tap, draw 2 cards. Target opponent gains control of Humble Defector. Activate this ability only during your turn. Okay, so this is shaping up to be one of those decks where you're just coming to the table to have fun. Yeah, but you're just there to make an impact on the game and be leave and just tell everybody, hey, this is what I did. This is already so funny. Indomitable Archangel. Flying. Artifacts you control have Shroud as long as you control 3 or more artifacts. That's good. Jeskai Barricade. Flash. Defender. When it enters the battlefield, you may return another target creature you control to its owner's hand. That's awesome. I love that. Love it. It might not be the best thing in this deck, but it'll work. Perplexing Chimera. When an opponent casts a spell, you may exchange control of Perplexing Chimera and that spell. If you do, you may choose new targets for the spell. That is wild. That's so fucked up. ChatGPT is actually on a banger right now. Rust Elemental has flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice an artifact other than Rust Elemental. If you can't, tap Rust Elemental and you gain 4 life. Okay, you want to give that away. We got Solemn Simulacrum. We all know what the sad robot does. Sperm Mage Advocate. Sperm Mage Advocate? You tap it and return 2 cards from an opponent's graveyard to his or her hand. Destroy target attacking creature. Love that. For 1 mana and it's 39 cents. That's crazy. Steel Golem. You cannot play summon or artifact creature spells. That's it. Okay. All right. Stuffy Doll. As Stuffy Doll enters the battlefield, choose a player. Stuffy Doll is indestructible. Whenever Stuffy Doll is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to the chosen player. Or you can tap it and Stuffy Doll deals 1 damage to itself. Okay, so essentially that's just going to be like something that you can give to anyone. And then like every time that it can do damage to the same player. The combos with Zedru here is kind of crazy. Like you're going to see me scroll through a lot of cards here, but when you go up to Zedru, you can just give an opponent this card. You could take this card, but you could give an opponent this card. Like let's say you got 2 players who are mad at each other. You can just give this to another player and be like, "Hey man, go nuts." Wall of Omens, Defender. Whenever when Wall of Omens enters the battlefield, draw a card. You would not believe how much editing I do because I go back and like I'm tripping over my words. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. I don't care. Zada, Hedron Grinder. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets only Zada Hedron Grinder, copy that spell for each other creature you control that the spell could target. Each copy targets a different one of those creatures. That's not bad. That's not bad. I wouldn't say it fits the theme exactly, but for 35 cents, ChatGPT, you're fine, man. Let's go to Planeswalkers here. We have Narset Transcendent. Essentially, she says, look at the top card of your library. If it's a non-creature, non-land card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. That's not bad, but that's +1, -2. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell from your hand this turn, it gains Rebound. Not bad at all. Or -9, you get an emblem with your opponents can't cast non-creature spells. That's fucked up. I'm going to just say it, bro. ChatGPT is oppressive. He's learning the wrong things from humanity. Or she, whatever. I don't judge. Then we got Dovin Ban. Oh, here we go. +1. Until your next turn, up to 1 target creature gets -3, -0, and its activated abilities can't be activated. Again, why are we being so oppressive? Chat, what are we doing? -1. You gain 2 life and draw a card. Not bad. -7. You get an emblem with your opponents can't untap more than 2 permanents during their untap steps. If that happens to me, I'm getting up and I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. It doesn't matter. I'm leaving, dude. But anyways, let's take a look at our sorceries here. We have Blasphemous Act. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. It deals 13 damage to each creature. Going with staples, I see. Day of Judgment. Destroy all creatures. Okay, that's fucked up. Faithless Looting, okay, that's not bad. Draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards for 1 mana, and it has flashback. That's not bad. Chat, keep cooking. Open the Vaults. Return all artifact and enchantment cards from all graveyards to the battlefield under their owner's control. That is gonna, dude, ChatGPT, that is a great sorcery to put in here. Good job. Wheel of Fate, it's got Suspend 4. And then you just pay the 1 in red. Each player discards their hand, then draws 7 cards. That's not a bad card at all. It doesn't really fit the theme. Maybe as far as like chaos goes, I can see how it fits. I can see how it fits for sure. Windfall. Each player discards their hand, then draws cards equal to the greatest number of cards a player discarded this way. Windfall is a good card. I did not know it was $6. I think I have like 12 of those in my bulk. I need to get on top of that. Wrath of God, destroy all creatures, they can't be regenerated. Well, all right. ChatGPT is feeling violent today. I guess we're going to start on our instance, Chaos Warp. The owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library. You know, dude, come on, read the card. Reading the card explains the card. You know what it does. Counterspell, you know what that does. Enlightened Tutor, holy shit. Okay, I'm starting to see why we're looking at these higher deck costs. Search your library for an artifact or enchantment card and reveal that card to all players. Shuffle your library and put the revealed card back on top of it. So that's all right. I mean, okay. A generous gift. Listen, it's a staple. We know what it does. Take your 3/3 green elephant. Jeskai Charm. We know what this does, but choose one, put target creature on top of its owner's library. Jeskai Charm deals 4 damage to target opponent. Creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain lifelink until end of turn. You can choose any of those. Pongify. Destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. Its controller creates a 3/3 green ape creature token for 1 mana. We love that. It's kind of like a generous gift, but, you know, it is what it is. Seething Song, add 5 red mana to your mana pool. This is a little off here, but maybe it works. I don't know. Swan Song, counter target enchantment, instant, or sorcery spell. Its controller creates a 2/2 blue bird creature token with flying. Yeah, I see that. This is starting to feel really oppressive here. Hopefully it makes up with like the enchantments and artifacts in the deck. God, I haven't seen them yet, so... Sword to Plowshares, gotta have it in any deck that has white. And then we've got Teferi's Protection. So again, ChatGPT just doesn't care about money. It cares about fun. And even if it has to spend $446.01 to do it, it's going to do it. Until your next turn, your life total can't change and you have protection from everything. All permanents you control phase out. Exile Teferi's Protection. This is messed up. Truly messed up. Let's go to our artifacts though. We've got Thought Vessel. You have no maximum hand size and add 1 to your mana pool. Love that because we're going to be drawing cards with our commander. Because again, we're going to be gaining life. We're going to be drawing cards, giving our opponents control of things. And the more permanents that they control that we own, that's good. Temple Bell, each player draws a card. That's not bad. I mean, $10 is kind of wild, but you know, if you're playing in a pod of 4, I mean, that's 4 cards for just tapping it. So we have Sphere of the Suns. It enters the battlefield tapped with 3 charge counters on it. You can tap it and remove a charge counter from it and add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. That, I'm sorry, is the plan there to like use all 3 charge counters and then just like give it away? I hope so, because then it becomes useless. Soul Ring, gotta have it. Mind Stone, gotta have it. Howling Mine. At the beginning of each player's draw step, if Howling Mine is untapped, that player draws a card. Okay, not bad. Darksteel Relic. It's a 0 mana artifact that just says it's indestructible. Chat, let me ask you a question. Brett. What was the plan here? What was the plan here? Listen, I'm gonna go with it. It wanted it. We're gonna do it. Coveted Jewel. When it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. That's great, but it's 6 mana. You can tap it to add 3 mana of any one color. Okay. And whenever 1 or more creatures an opponent controls attack you and aren't blocked, that player draws 3 cards and gains control of Crown Jewel. Untap it. Not Crown Jewel, Coveted Jewel. That's going to be a fun card. That would be a fun card to throw in. I agree with this pick. It's kind of like, you know, you see something that you feel like you want to just put in more decks. That's how I feel with this card. I knew it existed, but I guess I've just never read the card because I don't know. I something in my brain just loves this card. I don't know what it is. I'm going to throw this in my group hug Kenrith deck. That's awesome. Commander Sphere, we know what that does. And Blazing Torch. I actually did see this as I was like, as soon as I threw this deck together from ChatGPT's list, and I don't understand why it's in here. It's kind of pointless. Equipped creature can't be blocked by vampires or zombies. So if you're playing up against vamps or zombies, that's good. But it has tap to sacrifice Blazing Torch, and Blazing Torch deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Not the best card here. It's 35 cents, so it's not, it doesn't really run you a lot, but it kind of like takes up a spot in the deck that I don't feel it needs. Aggressive Mining. You can't play lands. Sacrifice a land, draw 2 cards, activate this ability only once each turn. This is an instant of, Zedru is going to be giving this away. Okay. That is so messed up. Not being able to play lands is going to shut down pretty much every deck that you play up against. That's not okay. That is not okay. ChatGPT is on one. Delusions of Mediocrity. When it comes into play, you gain 10 life. When it leaves play, you lose 10 life. I like that. So that's so sneaky. You like give someone 10 life, right? Make them feel like they have like, extra life. People start attacking them. Let's say they get down to 9 life, right? And then you're like, actually, what I want to do is, destroy that. So now you're dead. Like, just because you destroyed a card. It's kind of like they're borrowing life from you. I like that. That's a good one. Detention Sphere. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile target non-land permanent not named Detention Sphere and all other permanents with the same name as that permanent. That's messed up. When it leaves the battlefield, return the exiled cards to the battlefield under their owner's control. Does that mean... I'm sorry. So wait, what if someone has like 21 tokens that are just squirrels, like a squirrel token? Is that named? Like, is that name? Is that like, does that count? Are squirrels like the name of the card? Because then it would just exile all squirrels that they have. I don't know. Just, thought for thought, I guess, or fruit for thought. Jesus. Ghostly Prison. If you hear someone say, I'm tapping 2 and a white, you know what that means. And you could use this for yourself. You could use this for a friend. It's kind of versatile here, especially in Zedru. Illusions of Grandeur. It has, I cannot say this word. Oh my God. Cumulative Upkeep. Please tell me I said that right. When Illusions of Grandeur comes into play, gain 20 life. When it leaves play, lose 20 life. Effects that prevent or redirect damage cannot be used to counter this loss of life. That is messed up. That's essentially just this card right here. But, I mean, oh my God, hold on. That's $2. This is $20. It does have the cumulative upkeep, but it's 20 life, and then you can't prevent the loss of life whenever it leaves. That's so funny. Jeskai Ascendancy. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Untap those creatures. That's cool. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. That's just a good enchantment, I guess. Prison Term. Enchant creature. Enchant creature can attack or block, and its activated abilities can't be played. Whenever a creature comes into play under an opponent's control, you may attach Prison Term to that creature. Oh, really? So any creature that you wanted to, you could just like swap it out? Huh. That's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Propaganda. Creatures can attack you unless their controller pays 2 for each creature they control that's attacking you. So if you hear 2 and a blue for Propaganda, it's just Ghostly Prison. Puka's Mischief. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may exchange control of target non-land permanent you control and target non-land permanent and opponent controls with an equal or lesser converted mana cost. Not a bad card at all. I think for $3.50 though, chat, there was probably a better entry here. Sphere of Safety. Creatures can attack you or planeswalkers you control unless their controller pays X for each of those creatures, where X is the number of enchantments you control. I guess ChatGPT is, again, it's just playing really oppressive here. It really is. It's playing really oppressive. I personally thought that it was going to play a little bit safer. Thought Lash, cumulative upkeep. Remove the top card of your library from the game. If you do not, remove your library from the game and bury Thought Lash. What? Oh, okay. Oh my God. We're going to be giving that away. Holy shit. I was like, first of all, this is an insane card just for that. Wow. So you just have to exile the top card of your library. That's wild, actually. And then if you don't, you just exile your whole library. That's so fucked up. Wow. So when you give this to someone, it's like, yeah, you're going to do this for the rest of the game. You pay 0 and remove the top card of your library from the game to prevent 1 damage to you. Okay, so that's not even a realistic trade-off. For a $12 card, this is hilarious. It's fun. I think ChatGPT nailed it with this one. Because it's a little oppressive, but at the same time, it's like, hey, you can exile cards if you don't want to take damage. So, and then we've got Transcendence. You don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. When you have 20 or more life, you lose the game. Oh, whenever you lose life, you gain 2 life for each 1 life you lost. Okay, that's a little fucked up. Not gonna lie. That's a crazy card. Again, ChatGPT is just like pulling these bangers, especially for enchantments. It's just kind of like, it's being very oppressive, but at the same time, like just like being weird. Like that's a weird card. So essentially, whenever you lose life, you gain 2 life for each 1 life you lost. So, I'm sorry, does that mean you gain life? What? Hold on. So you gain 2 life for each 1 life you lost. So if you lost 10 life, you gain 20. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I get why that card's in here. I definitely do. That's a banger. ChatGPT's. I mean, I definitely. I'm not saying that this deck is perfect. Okay, not by any means, but I am saying that it does look fun. And then we've got a bunch of lands over here: Temple of Triumph, Temple of Epiphany, Temple of Enlightenment, Sulphur Falls, Steam Vents, Shivan Reef, Scalding Tarn, Sacred Foundry, Rogue's Passage. Oh shit, I can't see past my mic stand. Reliquary Tower, gonna need that for the card draw. We got 7 plains, a Mystic Monastery, 5 mountains, 5 islands, a Hallowed Fountain, Glacial Fortress, Flooded Strand, Exotic Orchard, Command Tower, a Clifftop Retreat, Blackfield Forge, Arid Mesa, and a Darker Waste. So yeah, so let's just recap this. This was a deck built by ChatGPT. Yes, it is completely overpriced. There are definitely some cards in here that are just like, why did this deck need that? Like the Teferi's Protection was completely uncalled for, in my opinion. But that's just me. I think that it does feel a little bit weird, like when you look at the deck and you're like, oh man, that's not how I would have built it. But that's not the point with this deck. The point with this deck was that ChatGPT was given a task. It was given the task to make something fun. It was given the task to make something that I could show to you guys that it can actually build and understand the game of Commander. This deck is 100 cards. Granted, again, I know it's essentially $450, $446.01. So obviously, I don't encourage you to go out and build this deck. I don't encourage you that this is the best Zedru deck on the planet. But what I will say is that maybe try it out. Maybe put it on untap.in. Maybe, something on something that you can play on your computer, play up against your friends. And if you want to learn what untap.in is, just let me know. It's kind of like something that you can play on your computer to play against friends online. But anyways, this one, I guess I really like this one. I did. I like this one a lot. I like making this video. And yeah, man, if you have any questions, just let me know down in the comments, or let me know what you think about ChatGPT building a commander deck. This was crazy. It was crazy. There's 100 cards in this deck. It went through and picked like what it thought would be good, and it put it in the deck. Like, again, it's not perfect, but he's AI. It's AI. She's AI. Whatever. It's AI. And it built a commander deck. It's funny. It looks fun. And I'm probably going to play it up against one of my friends later tonight. But anyways, I really appreciate you guys sticking around. Yeah, just be safe. Have a good one.